Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Investigators in Cars Drinking Coffee, daily insights into the real work of a private investigator. Today I want to talk to you about witness interviews and what happens when a witness refuses to speak to you. What can you do about it? Well, the answer is nothing. We are licensed private investigators. We're not law enforcement officers. We're not government agents. I have no authority to compel someone to speak to me. I can't take them downtown, put them in an interview room, and ask them to speak with me. They have to be volunteers. But I can tell you this, that there are really three reasons why witnesses won't speak to you if you're out and about conducting your work on a professional manner. Three reasons why witnesses won't talk to investigators. First reason is that they have been instructed by law enforcement officers or the government, either directly or indirectly, not to speak to defense counsel or defense investigators. Hard to prove. I'm sure it happens. We're always very cautious about that ourselves. When we speak with witnesses, witnesses are technically free agents. They're not parties to the litigation. They're not represented by counsel. And so they have the ability to speak or not to speak to anybody they choose. So that's one of the reasons they might not speak to you. Number two, and this is very common, is that the witness simply doesn't like your client. It doesn't matter if it's a criminal case, a family law case, a corporate case, commercial litigation. If the witness doesn't like your client, they aren't going to speak to you, or they certainly aren't going to give you what you might be looking for, which is really some specific information about whatever the allegations might be. And number three, the witness has some kind of ongoing relationship with some party in the case. Might be the plaintiff or defendant, the respondent, the petitioner, the criminal defendant, or one of the other defendants in a case. But there's some kind of ongoing relationship there that the witness feels could be jeopardized by speaking with you as an investigator. So what can we learn from that? What are some solutions? Well, number one is you can't do anything about it, so don't aggravate it by being obnoxious to the witness. They have the right to speak to whoever they want to speak to and not to speak to anybody. It could just be a bad day. But there are some things that you can do to retrieve something from the contact. Number one is make clear your identity. The last thing you want to do is give some prosecutor a basis for claiming that you pretended you were a police officer. This is very common, particularly in federal court, where there's a different level, perhaps, of intensity in the case. So long ago, I decided I was going to have a graphic designer make a business card for me that looked nothing like a law enforcement or a government business card. It's very distinct in its graphics, and it'd be hard to believe if you looked at it that I was a police officer. Also make clear that you are a private investigator working for an attorney, that you are not in some kind of official capacity other than your own work for your attorney and client. Number two, document your contact. If a witness refuses to speak with you, make careful notes in your file about the date and the time and the location of the contact. Should the issue ever come up again, make sure that you've documented your file, that shows that you made contact, what transpired, and let the attorney know as well in writing, either by email or a formal report. And number three, keep your eyes open. You never know what the witness might tell you directly or indirectly. There have certainly been situations where something was said during the exchange that led me to some additional information I never would have gotten had I not simply pursued the interview. And so every contact you make with a potential witness is helpful in some regard, both by what they tell you directly and by what they don't tell you or what you might observe. You can certainly make observations to your attorney about what the witness is like, how well they present themselves, whether their appearance, their dress, their demeanor, their level of sobriety even. These are all important things that your attorney is going to want to know as he prepares or she prepares her case for trial or a hearing. So I hope these are helpful to you. It's been a productive day for myself. I'm back from a little road trip, so enjoyed sharing it with you all. Fingers crossed, as we all know, for the fruitfulness of this work, and great to spend some time with you. Make it a great weekend.